58% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Credit card debt just hit record highs. Financial anxiety is the #1 cause of stress in relationships, the leading reason people can't sleep, the silent killer of dreams. You work hard, you make decent money, and somehow you're still drowning. The bills pile up faster than the paychecks come in. One emergency, car breaks down, kid gets sick, job cuts hours, and everything collapses. You're one bad month away from disaster, always, and the anxiety never stops. Every purchase feels like a gamble. Every notification could be an overdraft. Every conversation about money with your partner ends in tension or silence. Here's what makes it worse. Everyone around you seems fine. Their social media shows vacations, new cars, perfect lives. You're the only one struggling, the only one failing, except you're not. Most people are lying, hiding the same fear behind the same fake smile. 2,000 years ago, men faced the same demon. Some had everything, palaces, gold, power. Some had nothing, not even their own bodies. And both groups discovered something that still works today. 7 rules for staying sane when money controls your life. Let me show you what they learned. Rule 1. Separate your worth from your wealth. Epictetus was born into slavery. He owned nothing, not his time, not his body, not even the clothes he wore. Everything belonged to his master. One day, someone asked him, "How can you be happy when you have nothing?" He smiled. "I have everything that matters, my character, my reason, my ability to choose my response to circumstances. Those are mine. Nobody can take them. And they're worth more than all the gold in Rome." The person didn't understand. "But you're poor, powerless, owned." "My body is owned," Epictetus said. "I am not my body, I'm not my bank account, I'm not my possessions, I am my choices. And in that, I am richer than Caesar." Years later, after gaining his freedom, Epictetus became one of the most respected philosophers in Rome. Kings traveled to hear him teach. Wealthy men paid fortunes for his wisdom. And what did he teach? If you think happiness comes from external things, you'll spend your whole life chasing and never catching. But if you find it internally, no poverty can touch it. Your bank account is not your scorecard. Your salary is not your worth. Your debt doesn't define you. You are not what you own. You are how you respond to what you own or don't own. Because if your worth is tied to your wealth, you'll never have enough. There's always someone richer, always another level, always more to buy. But if your worth is internal, your integrity, your effort, your character, then poverty can't destroy it. Loss can't take it. Market crashes can't touch it. Write this down tonight. I am not my bank account. My worth is not measured in dollars. Read it every time the financial anxiety hits. Watch how it changes what money can do to you. Rule 2. Focus on what you control. Marcus Aurelius inherited an empire and a crisis. The Roman treasury was nearly bankrupt. Wars were draining resources. The plague had destroyed the tax base. Economic collapse was a real possibility. He could have panicked, could have blamed his predecessors, could have spent energy wishing circumstances were different. Instead, he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." He listed what he could control, his decisions about spending, his response to economic pressure, his example of living simply despite being emperor, his refusal to steal from citizens to fund wars. What he couldn't control, the plague's economic impact, the cost of defending borders, the decisions of previous emperors, the natural disasters that destroyed harvests. He stopped fighting what he couldn't change. started focusing entirely on what he could. The empire survived, not because Marcus controlled everything, but because he controlled the only thing that mattered, his response. You can't control the economy, can't control inflation, can't control whether you get that raise or whether your company downsizes. You can control your spending decisions, your side hustle effort, your financial education, your savings discipline, your response to setbacks. Most people waste all their energy stressing about the uncontrollable, the economy, the job market, what other people have, what you should be earning by now. That's a trap. You'll exhaust yourself fighting battles you literally cannot win. Here's the practice. Every financial worry, ask one question. Can I control this? If yes, make a plan and act. If no, acknowledge it and let it go. Stop drowning in anxiety about things you're powerless over. You can't control whether you're rich. You can control whether you're disciplined. Rule 3. Practice voluntary discomfort. Seneca was one of the wealthiest men in Rome. Estates, servants, gold, everything money could buy. And once a month he deliberately lived like he was poor. He'd wear cheap clothes, eat the simplest food, bread, water, nothing else, sleep on a hard floor instead of his luxurious bed. People thought he was crazy. You're rich. Why torture yourself? Seneca explained, I'm training because one day I might lose everything, and when that day comes, I don't want poverty to break me. So I practice poverty now, when I'm safe, so it can't terrify me later. He would ask himself during these experiments, is this the condition I feared? This is what I've been so anxious about. And he'd realize it wasn't that bad. He could survive it. Poverty wasn't death, it was just simpler. Years later, Emperor Nero turned on Seneca, confiscated his wealth, ordered his death. Seneca faced it calmly, because he'd already practiced losing everything. The real thing couldn't shock him. You're terrified of financial disaster, losing your house, your car, your lifestyle, going broke, being that person. But you've never actually tested yourself, never deliberately practiced the thing you fear. Try this. 1 weekend a month, live on $20. No eating out, no buying anything except absolute necessities. Simple food, simple entertainment. See if you survive. You will. And that knowledge that you can survive on less is freedom. Because when you know you can handle less, you stop being controlled by the need for more. Your financial anxiety drops by half the moment you realize the worst-case scenario is survivable. Rule 4. Remember, wealth is borrowed, not owned. Seneca lost everything, twice. First, exile stripped his wealth. Then, after being recalled and rebuilding his fortune, Nero took it all again before executing him. And Seneca had prepared for this. He wrote, all of this is on loan. I'm using it temporarily. It was never truly mine. One day it returns to the universe. Your house borrowed, one medical emergency, one job loss, one market crash, it could be gone. Your car borrowed. It's depreciating and breaking down every day you own it. Your savings borrowed. Inflation is eating it. Emergencies will claim it. Eventually, death will take it. This isn't depressing. It's liberating. When you think you own things, losing them feels like losing part of yourself. When you know you're just borrowing them temporarily, loss becomes natural. Expected, not personal. Every morning, Seneca would look at his possessions and say, these could be gone tomorrow. I'm grateful for them today. Not, they're mine forever. Not, I deserve these. Just, I have them now, I appreciate them, and I'm prepared to lose them. That shift from ownership to stewardship changes everything. You stop clinging, stop building your identity around possessions, stop letting money control your peace. Your financial anxiety isn't really about money. It's about attachment. You're attached to a lifestyle, a status, a security that never actually existed. Let go of the attachment, keep the appreciation. If you're finding these rules helpful, hit that subscribe button. We're creating content for people who need real tools for real problems. Ancient wisdom that actually works. Now let's continue. Rule 5. Don't compare your financial journey. Julius Caesar was one of the richest, most powerful men in Rome. Cato the Younger was relatively modest. Simple home, simple clothes, no luxury. People would mock Cato. Look at Caesar, that's success. You're a failure in comparison. Cato would respond, I don't measure my life against his. We're running different races. He's chasing wealth and power. I'm chasing integrity and peace. When we die, we'll see who won. Caesar died violently, betrayed by men he thought were friends, chasing power until his last breath. Cato died on his own terms, having lived exactly as he believed one should live. Who won? You're destroying yourself with comparison. Your co-worker bought a new car. You feel like a failure. Your friend took an expensive vacation, or you feel poor. Someone on Instagram shows their perfect life. You feel inadequate. Stop. You have no idea what their real situation is. They might be drowning in debt, might be miserable, might be faking it all. And even if they're genuinely doing well, so what? Their timeline isn't yours. Their path isn't yours. Their definition of success doesn't have to be yours. Comparison is poison. It turns every achievement into a failure because someone else has more. You'll never win that game. There's always someone richer. Here's the shift. Compete with yourself. Are you better with money than you were last year? Are you making smarter decisions? Are you reducing debt? Are you learning and growing? That's the only comparison that matters. You versus past you, nobody else. Rule 6. Use financial pressure as training. Musonius Rufus was exiled twice, lost his position, his wealth, his comfort, sent to barren islands where survival was hard and resources scarce. He could have been bitter, could have given up, could have spent his time in misery. Instead, he said, "This is training. Every difficulty is making me stronger. Every loss is teaching me what I can live without. I'm becoming harder to break." He used exile as a philosophy laboratory. What do I actually need? How little can I thrive on? What really matters? When he was finally allowed to return to Rome, he was unshakable. Poverty couldn't touch him. He'd already survived worse. Your financial pressure, the debt, the bills, the stress, it's not just suffering, it's training. Every month you figure out how to stretch $1. Oh, you're getting better at resourcefulness. Every creative solution to a money problem, you're building skills. Every time you don't panic when the account is low, you're strengthening emotional control. The people who've never struggled with money, they're fragile. One setback breaks them. They never learned resilience. You're in the gym. Financial pressure is your weight training, and you're getting stronger whether you realize it or not. Keep a log. This month I learned. Write down every skill, every lesson, every tiny victory. Watch the list grow. You're not just surviving, you're training, and training builds champions. Rule 7. Prepare your mind for loss. Marcus Aurelius would practice a mental exercise every morning. He'd imagine losing everything, his position, his family, his life. Not to be morbid, to prepare, so that if loss came, it couldn't destroy him through shock. He'd ask himself, if I lost it all today, could I stay calm? Could I maintain my principles? Could I still be a good person? And then he'd remind himself, I can. Because my worth isn't in what I have, it's in who I am. Your biggest financial fear is loss, losing your job, your house, your stability, going broke. But you've never actually confronted that fear head on. You just worry about it. Let it haunt you. Try this. Spend 10 minutes imagining the worst case. Really imagine it. Lost job, depleted savings, having to downsize, maybe moving back with family, maybe struggling. Then ask, if this happened, would I survive? Yes, you would. Millions have. You would too. Would I still have people who love me? Yes. Would I still have my character, my skills, my ability to rebuild? Yes. The worst case is not death, it's discomfort, embarrassment, starting over, and you can handle all of those. Once you really know that, not hope it, but know it, the anxiety loses its grip. You stop being controlled by the fear of loss, because you've already faced loss mentally and survived it. Why this still matters. Epictetus died 1,900 years ago. Marcus 1,800 years ago. Seneca even earlier. None of them had credit cards or student loans or inflation or the modern economy. And yet everything they learned about money still works. Because the real problem hasn't changed. It's not money, it's fear. It's attachment, it's tying your worth to your wealth, it's letting circumstances control your peace. You can't always control your bank account. You can always control your relationship to it. Use these 7 rules because they're ancient wisdom that sounds impressive. Use them because they actually work when your bank account is controlling your life. Separate your worth from your wealth. You are not your bank account. Focus on what you control. Stop fighting battles you can't win. Practice voluntary discomfort. Train yourself to need less. Remember, wealth is borrowed. Hold it lightly. You never truly owned it. Don't compare your journey. Their path isn't yours. Your only competition is yesterday's you. Use financial pressure as training. Every struggle is building skills you'll need later. Prepare your mind for loss. Face the fear directly. Prove to yourself you can survive it. You don't need to be rich to be free. You need to stop letting money own your mind. The Stoics proved it. Some with everything. Some with nothing. All of them at peace. That's available to you too, not someday when your finances are perfect. Today, right now, regardless of what's in your account. Drop a comment. Which rule do you need most right now? Where are you watching from? Let's help each other break free from financial anxiety. The number in your bank account doesn't control you unless you let it. Stop letting it.